Welcome back to Best Top 10 Ever. If you're looking for inspiration, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more amazing top 10 lists. Today, we're sharing 10 incredible survival stories that will leave you in awe and remind you of the strength of the human spirit. Let's dive in. Human beings have an innate ability to survive even the most extreme and perilous situations. Throughout history, countless tales have emerged that showcase the sheer willpower and determination people can muster when faced with life-threatening circumstances. From surviving plane crashes in remote mountains to being stranded at sea, these stories serve as powerful reminders of human resilience. In this video, we will explore 10 incredible survival stories that not only defy the odds, but also inspire us to persevere, no matter how dire the situation may seem. 10. Julian Koch, the sole survivor of a plane crash. On Christmas Eve in 1971, 17-year-old Julian Koch was aboard the LANSA Flight 508, traveling over the Peruvian rainforest. Suddenly, a plane was struck by lightning and disintegrated mid-air. Plummeting 2 miles to the ground, Julianne miraculously survived while still strapped to her seat. Despite suffering injuries, including a broken collarbone and deep wounds, she found herself stranded in the dense and dangerous Amazon rainforest. Having been taught survival skills by her parents, who were biologists studying the Amazon, Julianne knew how to find fresh water by following small streams. For 10 days, she wandered through the unforgiving jungle, battling insects, exposure, and hunger. Eventually, she stumbled upon a camp where she was rescued by local workers. Julianne's survival story remains one of the most extraordinary and heart-wrenching examples of endurance in the face of unimaginable odds. 9. Aaron Ralston, trapped in a canyon. In 2003, avid outdoorsman Aaron Ralston embarked on a solo hiking and climbing expedition in Blue John Canyon, Utah. During his trek, a massive boulder dislodged and trapped his arm against the canyon wall. With no way to escape and supplies running low, Aaron realized his only chance for survival was to take drastic action. After being pinned for 5 excruciating days, Aaron made the agonizing decision to amputate his own arm with a dull multi-tool. Once free, he scaled down a 65-foot drop and hiked 6 miles before being rescued by hackers. His incredible story of survival was later documented in the film 127 Hours, showcasing his immense courage, mental strength, and will to live. 8. The Uruguayan rugby team surviving the Andes plane crash. In October 1972, the Uruguayan Air Force flight carrying 45 passengers, including members of our Uruguayan rugby team, crashed in the snow-covered Andes Mountains. Those who survived the crash faced freezing temperatures, avalanches, and a lack of food. As days turned into weeks, the survivors were forced to confront the unthinkable. In order to survive, they resorted to eating the bodies of their deceased companions. After 72 days, 2 survivors, Roberto Canessa and Nando Parado, embarked on a treacherous 10-day trek through the mountains in search of help. Their determination paid off when they finally encountered a chilling shepherd who led rescuers to the remaining survivors. Their ordeal, later depicted in the book Alive, remains one of the most harrowing survival stories of all time. 7. Pun Lim, 133 days adrift at sea. During World War II, Chinese sailor Pun Lim found himself stranded in the Atlantic Ocean after his ship was torpedoed by a German U-boat. Drifting alone on a small raft with minimal supplies, Pun Lim fought for survival against the harsh elements, including fierce storms, scorching sun, and circling sharks. For 133 days, Pun Lim managed to survive by catching fish with improvised tools, collecting rainwater to drink, and using his wits to stay alive. His determination and ingenuity kept him going until he was eventually rescued by Brazilian fishermen. His story stands as one of the longest documented instances of survival at sea, demonstrating the incredible lengths to which humans can go to survive. 6. Yossi Ginsberg, lost in the Amazon jungle. In 1981, Israeli adventurer Yossi Ginsberg set out on an expedition into the uncharted depths of the Bolivian Amazon with 3 companions. After a series of unfortunate events, Yossi became separated from the group and found himself alone in one of the most hostile environments on Earth. With no supplies, Yossi had to rely on his survival instincts to navigate through the dense jungle. For 3 weeks, Yossi wandered through the wilderness, surviving on fruits, berries, and whatever he could forage. Facing venomous snakes, deadly insects, and isolation, he managed to keep hope alive. On the brink of death, he was miraculously rescued by local villagers. His tale of survival was later chronicled in the book Jungle and adapted into a feature film, highlighting the incredible resilience of the human spirit. 5. Beck Weathers, the 1996 Mount Everest disaster. Mount Everest is known for being one of the most dangerous mountains in the world. In May 1996, Beck Weathers, a climber attempting to reach the summit, found himself caught in a deadly blizzard near the top. Trapped in freezing temperatures with severe frostbite and snow blindness, Beck was left for dead by his team. As his body temperature plummeted, he spent hours exposed to the brutal conditions. In a miraculous turn of events, Beck regained consciousness and began making his way back to base camp. Despite the overwhelming odds, he managed to survive, later receiving medical treatment that saved his life. His tale, immortalized in the book Into Thin Air, is a testament to the willpower required to survive one of the harshest environments on the planet. 4. Stephen Callahan, 76 days adrift in the Atlantic. In 1982, sailor Stephen Callahan was attempting a solo voyage across the Atlantic when his small boat was struck by a whale and capsized. Stranded on a life raft with minimal supplies, Callahan drifted aimlessly across the ocean for 76 days. He survived by catching fish with makeshift tools, collecting rainwater, and battling hunger and dehydration. Callahan's story is one of incredible resourcefulness and mental resilience. Despite being surrounded by open water and facing total isolation, he never lost hope. His survival was eventually documented in his best-selling book Adrift, providing readers with an in-depth look at the physical and mental challenges of surviving at sea. 3. Ricky McGee. Surviving the Australian outback in 2006, Ricky McGee was stranded in the remote Australian outback after his car broke down. With no food, water, or supplies, he had to rely on his instincts to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. For 71 days, McGee lived off frogs, insects, and wild plants, battling extreme temperatures and the constant threat of dehydration. Eventually, he stumbled upon a cattle station where he was rescued. His story of survival in the outback is a testament to the human ability to adapt and endure, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. 2. Amanda Eller, lost in the Hawaiian forest for 17 days. In 2019, Amanda Eller, a yoga instructor, went for a hike in the Makawao Forest Reserve on the Hawaiian island of Maui. After becoming disoriented and losing her way, she spent 17 days in the wilderness, surviving on berries and water from streams. Injured and exhausted, Amanda fought through the dense jungle, hoping for rescue. Her determination paid off when a volunteer search team spotted her from the air. Amanda's story of survival captivated the world and showcased the power of human hope and perseverance in the face of adversity. 1. Hugh Glass. Left for dead in the wilderness, one of the most legendary survival stories in American history is that of Hugh Glass, a frontiersman who was left for dead after a brutal bear attack in 1823. Severely injured and abandoned by his companions, Glass crawled over 200 miles through rugged wilderness to reach safety. With no food or supplies, he survived by eating wild berries, small animals, and even the remains of other animals. Glass's tale of survival is a powerful testament to the strength of human will and determination. His story later inspired the film The Revenant, which highlights his extraordinary resilience in the face of nearly impossible odds. The 10 incredible survival stories highlighted in this video illustrate the power of human endurance and the determination to survive. From being stranded in unforgiving environments to battling life-threatening conditions, these individuals demonstrated extraordinary courage, resourcefulness, and willpower. These stories remind us of the incredible capacity for survival that lies within us all and continue to inspire people around the world to push beyond their limits when faced with adversity. Thanks for watching Best Top 10 Ever. We hope these survival stories inspired you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more powerful and uplifting Top 10 videos.